I wasted 5 years studying the wrong way. And I don't mean I could have been a little more efficient. I mean 5 full years of stress, burnout, procrastination, and still feeling dumb. If you've ever stared at your notes at 1 a.m. thinking, "Why am I trying so hard but getting nowhere?" This is for you. Because the method that finally fixed everything? It's stupidly simple, and almost nobody teaches it. Let me rewind. I was the student who looked productive. Highlighters everywhere, clean notes, study playlists on repeat, hours at my desk. But here's what no one saw. I reread the same page 5 times. I studied for hours and remembered nothing the next day. I procrastinated, panicked, crammed, then forgot everything a week later. And the worst part? I thought that was normal. Everyone said, just study harder, be more disciplined, focus more. So I blamed myself, until one moment shattered that belief. I failed something I shouldn't have failed, not because I didn't try, but because I studied exactly the way everyone told me to. That's when it clicked. The problem wasn't me. The problem was the method. And once you see this, you can't unsee it. Here's the lie we're taught about studying. If you spend more time, if your notes look cleaner, if you feel busy, you must be learning. But learning doesn't care how busy you feel. It cares about one thing. Can you pull the information out without looking? That's it. And almost everything we do avoids that. Rereading notes? Input. Watching videos on 1.5 times? Input. Highlighting? Still input. It feels productive because your brain recognizes the material. But recognition is not memory. Here's the scary part. Your brain confuses, "This looks familiar," with, "I know this." That false confidence is why tests feel like betrayal. So what finally fixed everything? I stopped trying to study and started trying to recall. At first, it felt awful, because good studying feels bad. Here's the rule that changed everything. If it doesn't challenge your memory, it doesn't count. That's the rule. Instead of rereading chapters, I'd close the book after 20 minutes, grab a blank page, and ask one uncomfortable question. What do I actually remember? Not what looks familiar, not what I think I know. What can I write down from memory? At first, almost nothing, and that was humbling. But that discomfort? That's where learning starts. Here's the shift. I stopped studying to feel productive. I started studying to expose the gaps. Because once you see what you don't know, you finally know what to fix. Instead of rereading everything, I only reviewed what I missed. Not the whole chapter, just the gaps. Suddenly, studying took less time and worked better. But there's another trap. People try this once. It feels hard, so they quit. Because effort feels like failure. But effort is literally your brain rewiring. Think of creators who upload once, disappear, then come back with an apology video. Same mistake. They confuse consistency with motivation. Studying is the same. You don't need long sessions. You need frequent recall. 10 minutes of active recall beats 2 hours of passive studying, every time. Here's how to make it simple. After class or a video, wait a few hours. Then ask yourself 3 questions. What were the main ideas? Can I explain them like I'm teaching a friend? Where did I get stuck? If you can't explain it simply, you don't know it yet. That's not a judgment. That's a signal. And signals are good. This also saved me from burnout. I stopped cramming. I used short, spaced sessions. Same material, different days, short bursts. Your brain forgets on purpose. That's not a flaw, it's a feature. Every time you recall something after forgetting a little, the memory gets stronger. That's why cramming feels intense, but fades fast. So don't fight forgetting. Use it. Here's the mindset shift. Studying isn't about confidence, it's about clarity. Confidence comes after repetition, not before. Once I accepted that, the anxiety dropped. I stopped expecting perfection on day one. If you're waiting to feel ready to study, you'll never start. This works because it's uncomfortable. So live by this rule. Start messy. Start confused. Start small. 5 minutes of recall is enough. You don't need motivation. You need friction. Make it slightly uncomfortable not to study. Open a blank page. Ask one question. That's it. And when clarity kicks in, that feeling is addictive. Here's the crazy part. When you study the right way, you need less discipline, because progress becomes visible. You remember more. Tests feel fair. Stress drops. And you stop hating studying. Not because school changed, but because you did. So if you feel behind, burnt out, like everyone else gets it except you, you're not broken. You were just taught the wrong system. Tonight, don't reread. Don't highlight. Don't binge videos. Close the book, grab a blank page, and try to remember. 5 minutes, that's all. Try it tonight. We're not just studying better. We're rebuilding confidence, momentum, and control. Let's level up together.